Hi everybody, welcome back to Bethesda Unpatched. This is episode number 2. I am Joe the Widget, and I am joined by my fellow cohort in crime, the space trucker himself, Kilo.
Apparently I'm just a regular space trucker this week. I was the extreme extraordinaire last week.
Well, I went with a cohort in crime, and I had to make it not too over-exaggerated and crazy this
Yeah,
time.
because we don't do that here. Right.
Yeah, wait till you hear about my play this week. Over-exaggerated and crazy is about right.
Which balances well with my understated.
Yeah, fair. So what we're going to be doing tonight, we have some interesting play. I jumped into Fallout 76 quite a bit, and Kilo did one particular thing in one particular game. We'll talk about that. We got a lot in the news, but before we go into anything else, first of all, I don't know how we're going to top episode 1, but we're going to. We're just going to do it.
Okay.
And second of all, there was this Xbox showcase, if I can talk straight, that happened on, I want to say, what was it, Sunday?
That was on Sunday.
Yeah. So about 4 or 5 days ago since we were from recording. And yeah, people were pretty disappointed in Bethesda showing up, but I already had a strong feeling that they were not. It didn't seem like the right platform for them to do their announcements. And we know that they have some big stuff coming. We know that. And we're going to get into that later on in our Hey Bethesda segment regarding that topic. But for now, they did release a couple of interesting little tidbits. One of them was the Elder Scrolls Online's next DLC.
Yes.
And they announced the Indiana Jones DLC, which I know there was some people in our Discord that were pretty excited about that.
Yep.
So you can hit that
the
part
Order
of the
news Giants
now.
coming out in September.
Yep.
Yeah, that's coming. I guess we're just going to go right into it then.
All right, man. I'm just segueing right into it.
That's right. That's a pretty good segue too. Yeah. September 4th, Order of the Giants for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This dives deeper into the Nephilim Order, which is a tribe of giants that is introduced in the base game. So it's going to expand on that storyline.
Okay. I haven't played that game yet, and I need to, but I have 4 games on my Bethesda plate at the moment. I don't think I should add a 5th.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think I'm going to get back into that one too, but...
Well, then I'll let you take care of it, my partner.
It's really
in crime
fun.
over
It's
here.
such a good game. Man, I grew up with Indiana Jones. I mean, we both grew up with Indiana Jones.
Yes.
I watched Young Indy. Did you watch that one?
Yep.
Young Indy back in the day? Yep.
I was a
Huge
big
into
Indiana
it.
Jones fan until the 4th and 5th movies came out.
I still watched them all, and I had my kids watch the older ones too. We watched all of them.
The original 3 were fantastic. They were so freaking good. I even liked, I don't know which number it was, the one where his dad comes on, played by Sean Connery.
Sean Connery?
I love that one. That's my personal favorite, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
The Holy Grail.
That's a good one. Yes. Last Crusade.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Crystal Skull, it was a little weird, but I still liked it. And then the latest one, honestly, I couldn't believe Harrison Ford was still doing it. I went to see that one. That was the movie that we went and watched the day that we had to drop our son off to go off to USO and do his basic training and stuff like that.
Right.
So last family day we had with him, we watched that.
Okay, well, that's a good memory. Not a greatest movie,
Yes.
but that's a good memory.
Right. I enjoyed it. I want to say I enjoyed it because I went to a theater and actually, paid $75 for 3 people to see a movie. But anyways, as you may have noticed, hopefully you've noticed, maybe you're vision impaired and you did not notice. However, we have new Legos. We have new logos for the network and the podcast, courtesy of Metal, editor of Ship and Pilots. He has an excellent e-zine that is on Reddit at the subreddit Ship and Pilot, and it is really, really well done. I'm not exaggerating that.
I was impressed. Yeah, it's very professionally done.
If you have a chance to check out the subreddit, the shipbuilding, if you're a Starfield fan, the shipbuilding in there is absolutely wild. Some of the stuff that these guys come out with.
Not the podcast. We're doing the podcast. The way he does the magazine, it looks like it was something that was pulled from the Starfield universe.
It looks like Popular Mechanics 2330, does it not? Yeah.
It really does.
It's crazy. I asked him, I'm like, hey, like how many people you got on this? What's a standard magazine? You got all the writers, you got the editors, you got the photographers, you got the layout design, all these different jobs. He's doing pretty much all of it. He has some fan submission stuff, but most of it, the layout, the artwork, the articles, is all him. It's a labor of obsessive love, which I respect.
I mean, look at what we do.
So check that out. It is a labor of obsession. Yeah, same thing. Exactly.
And there's a lot more that goes into this show than just recording every week.
Right. Of course, I want to bring this up because we had our friend of the show, Richard, on last week, and we asked him to update us when this happens. King Gath Creations has announced their next Fallout for Hope charity stream to benefit Alzheimer's research. It all starts this Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time when the voting stream
6:30
begins.
Pacific.
Yep. And if it's anything else than that, you got to do the math. What it is that they're putting together a mod and they give you a list of different scenarios and weapons and characters. And in order to vote on which ones the modders work with, you have to give a donation. So that starts this Saturday. And then on Friday, the 27th, there's going to be a live recording featuring a very prominent Bethesda voice actor, Wes Johnson. He's done this before for their last charity stream. If you don't know who he is, he played Ron Hope in Starfield, Hermaeus Mora in Skyrim, and the Silver Shroud in Fallout, among many others. He's been working with Bethesda since Morrowind. So you have definitely, if you're listening to the show, you've heard his voice, absolutely. And then following that, on the 28th, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern, that's the 48-hour mod jam. That's when they start putting everything together. And that's going to last for 40 hours. And then on the 30th at 9:30 p.m., the mod's going to be revealed. For more information, follow King Gath Creations or Sim Settlements across the socials, or you can go to simsettlements.com.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Donate. It's a great charity. And these guys are going to be busting their butts to get this done in 48 hours. Trust me, I know.
Yes. Yeah,
Game jams are so tough, but they're so much fun.
That's the voice of experience right there. And as Richard said, it's like, yeah, it's stressful.
That's an understatement, really.
It's stressful.
All I lived off of caffeine and pizza for 2 days straight. Yeah. And that was it. And it was just nothing but, and sugar. Any sugar I can get to.
See, I feel like I might have, in my younger years, I might have been into that. Because when I was in high school, we used to, that's not the exact same thing because we're not working, but we would get off school on Friday, go to a little video store. This is a brick building that they use to keep video games in. And pick up a couple of games, go to my buddy's house. We'd have 3 TVs, 5 systems set up. We'd live off of his mom's pasties, which is a Michigan savory pastry, and Surge Cola, and play video games until like 10, 11 o'clock Sunday night.
I miss the old school LAN parties, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. LAN cafes, that used to be a thing for the youngins. So usually you go into a cafe and all these computers hooked up together, you jump on, play like Quake. That's where I played a lot of Quake was at a LAN cafe.
The group I belonged to that I used to teach game design at, and we did the game jams together, was called Buffalo Game Space. They're still active in Buffalo, New York, and they still do game jams, and they used to do it, and last I heard they still do. They would do a LAN party at the game space every month. A solid 24-hour LAN party, and we would just go nuts. Bring all your computers in, everyone, just tables piled with food, and we just went at it.
My kid, the kids still do that. I didn't even know that was still a thing. Yeah, because my oldest one, he's in the Army, he's in Japan. What's up, John? He would, he's like, I'm going over to Caleb's house. I'm like, all right, cool. What are you guys going to do? Are you going to party? No. Are you going to do drugs? No. Are you going to drink? No. I'm like, then why the hell are you going? He's like, we're going to have a LAN party. I'm like, he's like, do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it. What? I didn't even know there's still a thing.
One of the biggest LAN parties still happening is hosted by Bethesda, called QuakeCon. It's in Texas.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah.
And I would love to go there. Bring my rig and just go there. But
I want to go there just to be there. I'm not even gonna pretend I could compete, man. I'm bad. I'm horrible. And I'd get smoked in the first round anyway.
Matter. You go there to have fun. The whole
That's what I'm
point
saying.
of the LAN party is you go there just to chill out with the boys and have a great time. And they've got what I think it's something like 2,000 or 3,000 people that do this every year.
Oh wow!
$16 a person. Oh, that's a good question, actually. Going to be in August in Grapevine, Texas.
Right before my anniversary.
It's $16.50 a ticket, and they do a whole lot of different competitions and contests, like the best rig contest, the worst rig contest, the dirtiest desk contest. It's all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, if I had to tell my wife that, hey, we got to put off our anniversary trip because I need to go to QuakeCon. I don't know. I might be coming out to California knocking on your door because I'm not going to have anywhere to live. So I think I'm going to have to pass on
I got a room you could use.
it. Okay, perfect.
So the whole thing is grab your rigs, cram those cables into your carry-on, stuck up on energy drinks, and polish those keycaps, unless you're entering the dirty keyboard contest. We can't wait to see you at QuakeCon this summer.
Amazing.
And they usually do some kind of game announcements and things like that. It's like a little mini convention on top of this massive LAN party.
That's awesome. You got to love it, man.
Yeah.
So I only got one other little bit of news, and this is just an article. Listen, most of the stuff that came across this week all had the same tone. If you're looking for Starfield news, you were hearing about how disappointed everybody was that Bethesda didn't talk about anything Starfield related. If you look up Elder Scrolls news, it's either people talking about the patch or the fact that there's nothing coming from Elder Scrolls 6. And if you looked up Fallout news, it was mostly U.S. politics abroad. So, which is a little unnerving. Think about it. But apparently the 10th, just this past Tuesday, was the 7-year anniversary of the announcement of Elder Scrolls 6 when we first saw that trailer. 7 years on the 10th.
And that goes into my Bethesda segment, but we'll get into that in just a second.
I keep setting up segues for you. Every time I set up a segue for you.
My brain goes in one track sometimes, and it just goes elsewhere, because I want to just touch up one last thing about the whole disappointment with the Xbox showcase. Most of the time, Bethesda does their major announcement at Gamescom. Gamescom is the biggest gaming convention in the world since E3 died down. And it used to be PAX Prime, which is now PAX West in Seattle, and they do a lot in PAX East. But Gamescom is held in Germany, and it's held August 20th through the 24th. And that is where we're going to most likely hear a lot of news from Bethesda, because I do believe they already bought their booth there. And I believe the rumor mill saying that they are going to have a showcase there. We'll see. That's just a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt.
2 months, guys. We'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Even Forbes got in on the digging this week, man.
Oh, yeah.
Even Forbes was like, oh, why we're not going to blah, blah. It's all speculation. Everything, I've read all the articles in the last 3-4 days. Nobody talking actually knows for sure. So don't be honest, get excited, but don't panic.
The entire Xbox showcase was kind of garbage to me. I was bored halfway through it.
Yeah.
There was nothing there that interested me. But other than the ESO, I mean, I want to get back in that game so badly. But we'll get into that. Yeah. We'll get into more ESO stuff in a little bit. So our Hey Bethesda segment is done by me this week. And it's just me wanting to tell Bethesda, show us more of Elder Scrolls 6. We hit that 7-year mark of it being leaked. It's been 14 years since Elder Scrolls 5.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was like 15 years between 4 and 5. I should look that up, but we're a little bit less time than that. These games are huge, and it's time. We want to see it. Don't just drop it all at once. Say, hey, the game's coming out, and this is what it's called. Give us a name. Give us something to wet our whistle with this game.
Right.
Please.
Anything.
Anything. Show us some screens, some stills.
Even CDPR wasn't this lockdown approach, like for that long. I mean, it was a while. It was probably a good 5 years in between news, but it's getting ridiculous. And it's showing in the news what people's feelings are on it. And you gotta throw us a bone.
There is such thing as too much bad press on the subject. And if you keep doing it like this, it's going to become, toxic in a way, like a rotten fruit.
Like it already has. Yeah,
it's time, Bethesda, to stop with this press desert you're doing. It's ridiculous. And we offer ourselves as an avenue for you to release information.
Of course.
Hit us up. We'll be glad to do it for you.
Not mind. Have a chat with us. Our email is weirdchaosmedia@gmail.com. Weird, WYRD, chaos with a K, and media.
Exactly what he said.
Yep.
Hit us up. I actually did message a couple of key people at Bethesda a few days ago, so I'm crossing my fingers, waiting to hear back from them. One of them being the Starfield community manager, and the other one being the Elder Scrolls Online community manager. So if we can get any of them to respond to us, we can most likely get an interview for Starfield staff or Elder Scrolls Online staff, and then give an avenue into the rest of Bethesda. That's our goal.
Yeah, that'd be great. We would be greatly appreciative.
So your in-game stuff was a very interesting short notes, but let's get into it, man.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. I built a ship, and then I built a ship, and then I built a ship, and that was it.
That's
Actually,
that's his notes right there.
that's my whole notes. That's all I did. I did nothing but shipbuilding the last few days, and I took because since I'm playing Watchtower, and we had that conversation where I'm like, I feel like my fire support ship should be like something huge, something big, rain down hell from the heavens, and I end up going back in because all I have is the Frontier and the Razorleaf right now. So I took the Frontier and I turned it into my fire support ship. It's this massive, like 19 crew ship.
That thing is massive, man. You use that dual layer cockpit, right?
Yep.
I think you use my favorite one that has the ramps that goes for dual level.
Yeah. Yep. So you can enter. I don't have any ladders in that one.
And you use
I don't have any ladders in the other one either. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's sick looking. I like that one a lot. A whole lot better than the ship I tried to do last week.
It was enough. Like, I wasn't crazy about it. I'm like, I just want to. I mean, yeah, it's definitely wanted to look cool. It's, mostly turrets, so it can provide cover in space as well.
I could never get into the auto turrets.
Yeah. I didn't do anything special with it. I don't use them on my ship because I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
But since I'm not going to be flying that ship, figured it was good to go.
That's actually a pretty good idea. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So then I went back to
all the weapons I would normally use on my support ship, thinking they're going to dogfight like me, and that's not the case. I think the idea of an auto turret is extremely good idea because they are very limited in their shooting. I've watched them a few times.
Yeah.
And if they have auto turrets everywhere doing different directions,
right,
it's just going to do its thing.
360 degrees. You got 360 degrees no matter what direction they're facing. So I thought that was interesting. So I went in and I went back to my Razorleaf, and I had this cute little under 40 by 40 Razorleaf. So it was a small ship, tiny ship.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want this to be a ship that I could live in, where I got to have my workshop, I got to have my armory. Really, those were the only two prerequisites.
Those are the big things. Yeah.
And then I got out of hand. I built a really, really big one, and then I sized it down a little bit and tried to make it look more aircraft-like, fighter-like. I'm still not in love with it. Actually, I think I'm going to take some inspiration from Ship and Pilot. There's some great... I was talking to Metal about this in the Discord earlier today. There's some great asymmetrical designs over there, and I haven't really done a really good asymmetrical ship, and I definitely want to do something like that. Something with like an outrigger. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool. And I think you can have up to 4 support ships eventually in that mod. Is it 3 or 4? I don't remember.
In Watchtower?
Yeah, as part of
you
your
can
fleet.
have up to 9.
Up to 9. Oh, jeez.
It will allow your entire garage, vanilla garage. It won't let you go beyond that because you're gonna murder your game.
That's gonna be a crazy fleet just having 9.
Right. Even having 9 is bonkers. Right. See, then I just wish that we could do it like, here we go, King Ath, if you're listening, which would be really nice, actually, if you're listening. But if you're listening, I want some, like, have you ever played Homeworld?
Mm-hmm.
It was a real-time, okay, you know what I'm talking about. Real-time strategy, 3D space combat, like StarCraft, but in space. Super cool. I love that game to death. I want to be able to put my ships into different formations.
That would be pretty cool.
Like the flying V, like a claw.
They do it on demand order, not just going to your console and setting it preset, but being able to actively do it during combat.
If there's a way to tie it to your hotkeys or something, that would be really, really cool. Something like that.
I mean, that makes sense. If you're going to be flying in a squadron like that, the lead aircraft is going to be calling out orders.
Right. That'd be sweet.
That's a hard tie-in, but I think that's something they can pull off. King guys can do some things that I didn't think modders could do anyway.
Yeah, they definitely can. But that was it. That was very literally my only. That's all I did.
So you're just leaving it all on me.
Yep, it's all on you.
Thanks, man.
No pressure.
Appreciate it.
You got it.
Yeah, I went in heavily into Fallout 76 this week. I forgot how much I love that game until I started playing it again. And the thing about the Fallout universe is I've only played about 2 or 3 hours of Fallout 4. So that's my only immersion into that world is from 76 and Fallout 4. And the world of 76 feels so alive when you're playing it and dead at the same time. So there's a lot going on all over the place, so you know that the world's active, and the other players are going on and doing nuclear strikes here and there and all kinds of goodies, and all these live events that occur. But when you're going through these quests and these abandoned buildings and you see all these dead people everywhere in random positions, like I saw a guy in a hospital today with his head inside the stove, the oven door, neck broken, and the body's just out from it. It's like, it leaves you with a sense of sadness when you're going through this, especially when I went to one house and there was a nursery there.
Right.
That was locked up, got into it, and you can see the messed over crib and a little skeleton. It's I like games that draw that emotion into you.
Yeah.
That make you feel like you're part of the world, and that's what it does. It's like I kept thinking about what it would be like if I was actually in a post-apocalyptic setting like this. What would I do?
Yeah. And that's 100% keystone to Bethesda storytelling in the Fallout series is that the environmental storytelling, and you'll find those all over their games, and they will make you stop and look at the scene. Like there's one in Fallout 4 that is like right on the water, and it's just a bench and the guy sitting on the bench, and then there's one of those portable or like little shelters that look like phone booths.
Yeah.
And then there's a skeleton in there, and it's like there wasn't enough room for the two of them. This guy on the bench accepted his fate. Like it really, starts the gears turning.
Bethesda's very good at that visual storytelling, and one of their favorite things to do is to tell stories in toilet stalls.
Yeah.
All over the place. Every time I go into either it be Starfield or Fallout, I'm going in the toilet stalls just to see what are they doing this time? What story are they telling this time? Is it going to be hilarious? Which 99% of the time it is.
I'm convinced that there's somebody that is their whole job, just the toilets, nothing else.
Has to be.
But like that's top of my list is the
has to be some kind of running gag within Bethesda that they have to do these gags throughout the entire game.
Well, even the show, that's what I loved about the show. Did you watch the show?
Yeah.
The first season?
Yep.
When Lucy goes into that, or I think it was Lucy? Yeah. When they go into that house that's out in the desert, and it's the family sitting at the table, you see the poison on the table, and it's like 3 skeletons. Like, I saw that, and I'm like, it is now a Bethesda. It is now 100% Fallout, because you just have no explanation. It's just this scene there.
A visual storytelling. That's all you need.
Yep.
And it makes you wonder what really happened and things like that. But in this game, even though it's several years old now, they constantly are updating it all the time. It still looks really, really good.
Yeah.
I stop all the time in that game enjoying the damaged and smoking ruins of this world. Yeah. And like, hey, that's actually kind of pretty, because there's rivers. It's through the Appalachian Mountains in a little valley, and it's foresty, and it's really, really cool. Like, I finally picked a spot and put down my camp, which is your home base.
Right.
And I did it right by a river bend so that I can go fishing. So I'm making myself a little river shack. I put a little picture of it on our Discord, but it's not much anything right now.
Right.
But I spent probably 2 hours roaming around the woods just looking for wood. And it's not like most survival games where you see a tree, you cut it down, and you use that wood. No, you have to find these stumps everywhere and gather wood from those just to build a little tiny shack. And I remembered I did not have much unlocked, so I still got a lot to do. I don't have any of my workbenches built. I have a cooking stove out in the front lawn. I have a chair on my patio, and that's it. And my storage chest, because I need to have my storage chest, because inventory management in 76 is a very, very big deal, especially early game, because you don't have space, and everything weighs too much, and it constantly getting weighed down all the time. So every time I see a workbench of any kind, I go there, break down what I found, because I know that, for one, desk fans are very important. They have screws. Screws are important in this game, especially for your weapon mods.
Right.
So yeah, I have been battling with inventory constantly, so that was a huge help, getting that stuff in there, throwing all the stuff, because you need all kinds of materials to build your base, to upgrade your armor, to do your weapons. And how you unlock your different weapon mods is by breaking down weapons, and those are heavy. So I get very selective of what weapons I pick to break down. And right now, all I can see is bolt action hunting rifles and 10 millimeter guns. That's all I can freaking find, and shotguns.
You're level 12?
14 now.
Oh, 14. Okay.
So I'm getting up there. Still nowhere near. I saw someone that was level 3,900 something today. But basically at level 50 or 70, something like that, it's pretty much the cap. But you can still gain levels after that, but you don't get your primary stats up anymore.
No, it caps out at some point.
Yeah.
Here's the question for me. This is a kilo question, is what has your interaction with other players been like?
Most of the time, they leave me alone. I hardly see anybody. The couple people I've seen were just standing there, especially in the legendary vendor building. And there was one guy that was in there testing out a weapon he just bought. They don't attack you. You can set yourself to not be able to be attacked. which is the default.
Oh, okay.
And you can go in there, and if you want to do PvP, you can set that. But most of the time, the level 90-something character I had before and this one, I've never been attacked by another player. I don't think they can.
Oh, okay.
And I do live events every now and then. So I'll go to live events and just work with a bunch of other players to do it and be done.
Yeah.
But most of my interactions have been really good. I've had a couple people that were really cool, actually gave me some stuff. There's these these storage chests around the world now that you can donate. They're called donation chests. And you can, players will just drop things in there, and there's one right by the exit to the Bunker 76. Why do I keep doing that?
Vault 76?
Yeah, Vault 76. And there was like 3,000 stim packs in there.
Oh, wow.
Me forgetting about weight took everything, and I weighed about 3,000 pounds more than I should, so I just put everything back and I took what I needed. It's got a good community. It does. And you can go to other players' bases like it's a part of the world. They're just out in the open where they set them up, and you go in there, and they have their own little shops. You can go in there and buy stuff from them, like plans and things like that.
Yeah.
I started getting legendaries. I'm at that point now. And the first one I got was a legendary bolt-action rifle.
Okay.
Of course. Had to be that. It's a 2-star legendary. 3 stars is the maximum you can get. So for each star, you get a different legendary perk.
Mm-hmm.
And my rifle has plus 50 armor pen as one of them, and I didn't write down the second one. I can't remember what it was. It was kind of useless, but the 50% armor penetration on a sniper rifle is godlike.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, I wound up modding that rifle, put a red dot sight on it because I don't have the ability to unlock this to put a scope on it yet. Can't find one. I need to find a rifle that has a scope to be able to make one.
Oh, I see.
So I've been going around sniping again, constantly, and I love it. It's home for me.
Don't sound like you love it, man.
Yeah, well, I want to go into a different play style, but the game's forcing me to do this play style right now. Right now. I mean,
the universe is like, nah, you don't get to do that.
You can easily change out your specs with the cards and everything, but that's just the way it is. And I even streamed a couple hours on Twitch doing Fallout. I'm thinking about doing that again, maybe once or twice a week. I usually post on my my X account and our Discord when I go live.
And it actually might, it's worth bringing up now. I've edited our link tree. So if you go to our link tree, it's linktree/Weird Chaos Media. Not only will you find all of the links for the show, but you'll also find links to mine and Widget's link trees as well. So you can get our personal Instagram and X and all those links too. You can follow us on there. If you like us like that. If you don't, I understand.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not everybody's
little disclaimer. If the Discord link is not working, we're trying to update it every week because the Discord link does expire because we don't have enough boosting in our Discord server. So if you guys want to help us out and boost our server, that'd be much appreciated. We need to get to level 3, and then we can have a set, locked-in link for our Discord.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to try to, every time I post anything related to the Discord, like today, when I mentioned that we were going to be doing this tonight, I'm going to go ahead and change the link so that try to keep it fresh.
So if you can't get in, just try again later. We'll get you.
Yep.
So I got my home built, doing my sniper thing constantly. If I'm walking down a road, getting to a location, I see a little town or a group of houses, I'm sniping it. Looking for those Walking Dead, taking them out. And so I was going up to the airport, so I had to finally do the main quest. And the main quest, well, I wouldn't say it's really the main quest. It's like kind of like Skyrim, where it kind of is, but isn't, because there's 3 or 4 main quests that you can do.
Okay.
But this one is trying to find the vault manager.
The overseer.
Overseer. Thank you. Why? See, it's the podcast curse. So you're trying to find your overseer. She left early for some reason and booked it, so you're out to go find her. Well, I have to go to this airport and try to find her. And on the way there was this old barn that was broken down. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and check it out. I got in there, and it's all broken down, but then I noticed a little bit of a power armor stand glinting in the corner in the back. It's like, oh, that's something good.
Oh, okay.
Went through the doorway to get in there, and it was beep, 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 boom.
Oh, no.
I think I set off about 6 or 7 mines. I didn't have time to even think about running before I was dead.
You were totally baited.
I fell for the trap. Didn't even look. It just took me out completely.
Amazing.
Thankfully, it spawned me right outside that barn, so like an idiot, I went right back in there and did it again. I didn't blow up, though. I already took out the mines.
Oh, okay.
And I looted the power core.
It'd be funny if it was in waves. Yeah.
I don't have the room to carry power armor right now. I never used it on my other character, but I want to on this one. Because you can completely customize your power armor and upgrade it and all that good stuff. So eventually I will. When I can carry more stuff. And I can create a power armor stand. But I like doing the factions in Fallout, and I forgot
Okay.
the name of the first faction you do. You join it
Brotherhood of
almost
Steel?
immediately. No, that one though I can't wait to do. That's one of my favorite ones in
Oh, what
76.
was the other one? It's the one Fallout game I haven't played is 76, so I'm not 100% sure.
There's a lot of factions, a lot in 76. Responders. It's the
Oh, okay.
responders.
Yeah, the responders. Right.
Yeah, so you go and you join them right away. But I got to a point now where I had to join their. I don't know if it's like a branch of the responders, but they're called the. I have it written down somewhere. My brain is just not. Oh, the fire breathers.
Okay.
And their whole mission is to take out the scorched, nasty little zombies that are on fire, and they're a pain in the neck.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So you have to
I
do.
know that one.
You do? I didn't know about the
The
factions.
Scorch? I was aware of the Scorch.
Yeah, that's in all the games. So the fire breathers, you have to go to of course, you have to go to an old broken down fire station to join them. You go to a computer and you have to take a knowledge exam. 7 questions about firefighting and then some things that regarding to like the scorched, what do you do with them? Type scenarios like what do you do in a gas-filled room and things like that. So I was like, you know what? And it says, please grab the study material before you take this exam.
Okay.
I didn't. I just went for it. I want to give it a shot.
Okay. Sure.
And somehow I got 7 out of 7 correct.
Oh, nice.
Don't know
Well
how.
done.
Just use basic,
Look at the
knowledge.
big brain on Joe.
Then they have you go to a physical exam. So you have to go into this town that's full of these zombies. I forgot what the title of them are, but
Ghouls?
yeah, pretty much ghouls. There's another one. Anyway, forget it. So I went to this town, and you have to go up on this roof of this station there. They're like this in-town fire station, and you have to
Okay.
run a course around this entire town, and it's marked by these little black arrows spotting the terrain. Yeah, the first time I did it, I completely failed. I got lost halfway
Oh,
through.
really?
Couldn't find because you have
Oh,
to.
no.
You press the A button first before you start. Then you have to go halfway down the city and find the B button. Press that. You have to make your way all the way back to A and hit it. And you have 3 minutes to do it
Okay.
with all these baddies coming after you. So I sniped everything first. Figured that was the best thing to do, and it was.
Sure.
Then I got lost with these stupid arrows. They have you weaving in and out of these buildings, going up and down. Second time, though, I did find it. I found where I went wrong, and I just barely missed one turn.
Oh, okay.
Ran all the way back, took a shortcut because I knew I took too much time trying to find it. Hit the A button, said, you passed with a time of 2 minutes and 47 seconds.
Okay.
I had
Nice.
13 seconds to spare.
Nice.
It was,
Ninja Warrior.
yeah, it was difficult. In the final exam, you have to go up to this coal mine, and they give you a gun, and they're the fire breathers, like paraphernalia, if you will, like a shirt and hat. And they send you into this mine, this coal mine, that's on fire. You have to go all the way to the bottom of it with scorched everywhere, hit a button, and then run all the way back up out of it. And they give you a gun.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's like, we're doing a trial by fire. We want to make sure we can trust. Okay. Literally.
Trial
So
by
if you
fire.
live, you pass. That's pretty much how it works. You survive, you pass.
Wow.
You don't make it out, yeah, you failed. And they give you a little pistol that does 25% damage to scorch, but it's a 10 millimeter. It's like, I'll give it a shot. Went in there. I did probably about a third of the way through it just using that pistol, and it was just constant firefights. It was taking forever. So finally I pulled out my red dot sniper, and it was
Yeah.
one shot all the way down the rest of the way. Even the bosses.
Nice.
Just pop them in the head, done.
Easy.
Hit
Nice.
that button, ran the hell out of there.
That's
So
amazing.
I made it. I'm a fire breather, and I was thinking about that earlier. It's like I really want to do the Brotherhood of Steel because that was one of my favorite factions when I did 76 before.
Mm-hmm.
And
Depending
most
on the
of the-
game, they got some great lore.
Oh, yeah, tons of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in. It's a lot bigger than Fallout 4 and 3
Oh yeah.
in terms of
I'm
space
sure.
and what you can do.
Like mat size. Yeah.
Apparently, you can join Vault 63. There's a lot more factions since the last time I played. Brotherhood of Zeal. Oh, jeez. Edwin's Gang, Free Radicals, Secret Service. Really? I want to join a Secret Service. Vault 79. So they had a lot of factions. A lot more recently, too. Like, I didn't know that 63 was one. The Revenants? Huh.
Is outside the wheelhouse.
Yeah, there's a lot. Jeez. Rust Eagles. Anyway. So, yeah, I've been spending a lot of time in Fallout. I'm going to finish my fishing base and actually start fishing because I'm too low level right now to do it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I got to figure out where it's going to go. I want to put glowing fish on my wall. Apparently, it's a hard thing to find.
Oh, awesome.
And I am extremely tempted to get back into ESO, man. Especially with the recent patch they released for multi-class.
Yeah.
I still have Doom
I
to
heard about
beat,
that.
76, Oblivion, and Starfield to play. But ESO.
Well, that 1.1 patch for Oblivion is live across all platforms now. It's out of that beta thing that they do. So, and after watching the Tales of Tamriel trailer during
The Xbox Showcase?
Games Showcase, thank you. The Summer Games Showcase. We were talking about this off the air. I'm like, I'm gonna have to get into it.
Well, apparently I was wrong, buddy, and I gotta apologize about that. Last time we talked about ESO, I said it was cross-platform. It is not. They are
not even through Game Pass.
Nope. They said they were seriously working on it right now.
Okay.
And hopefully they said it should be out by the end of the year, but right now, no. Xbox is with Xbox, PlayStation, PC with PC. And that doesn't make sense. That game lends itself to being able to be cross-platform.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah, we wouldn't be able to play together. Not yet. Sorry,
One day.
But
I know.
ESO did release their multi-class. We mentioned it on the last episode.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah. And it's only out for PC currently, and it comes out for Xbox and PlayStation on June 18th. You must have at least one character at level 50 plus, and it will unlock for every other character that you have, whether it's 50 or not. It can be level 1, it'll unlock for them. But you have to have at least one character at level 50. You must retain an original skill line, because you can have 3 skill lines active with your character. So one of them has to be from the original skill line of your character, your class. But you can swap out the other 2 skill lines with whatever class you want to swap it out with. So you can have up to 3 different classes on your one character. Okay. And some people have been coming up with some crazy combinations, like a whole summoning thing, where it's a kind of like a necromancer class in the game with undead. And there's this beast warden that you can summon beasts with, and the elemental, the sorcerer can have elemental pets, so they did a combination of all 3 of those. So they have this little army following them.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's some crazy things people are doing with it. It looks like a lot of fun. And they said that you have to retain the one skill line. You can only swap out skill lines, not individual skills. And how ESO works, you have to level up that skill tree. So by using those skills in your hotbar before you get unlocked the rest of the skill tree. Huh. But they said they're really excited about it. It adds a whole new dimension of customer or greater customization to your character. So I'm really interested to check it out.
Yeah.
I can already come up with some crazy combinations for that.
Yeah. I mean, even on previous shows, we've talked about the way we could multi-class in really cool ways. That's definitely appeals to me.
We have a little bit around Discord. You want to lead that one?
Yeah, it actually initially came from Reddit, and I just had come across it while I was looking for news. I went back looking for it. It's definitely something that's been talked about before, but I wanted to bring it up on the show. And it is, what is the best Bethesda universe?
Yeah, by your opinion.
Of course, everybody's going to have a different opinion. You know, Starfield, Elder Scrolls, Fallout. So what do you think? What would be your vote?
My vote is easy. It's Elder Scrolls for sure. I mean, I love the Fallout universe and how well built it is, but I'm a fantasy nut, and Elder Scrolls just hits that fantasy nerve perfectly with how they do it. And I love it. Everything Elder Scrolls I've absolutely loved, and I want to see an Elder Scrolls show.
Fair enough.
And I want Elder Scrolls 6. Come on.
We all want Elder Scrolls 6. Personally, for me, my heart is always going to be with Fallout. That's the big one. I mean, I love Starfield, and I do want to get into a couple of the answers. We had some answers in Discord to this question earlier, but for me, it's Fallout all the way.
Why?
Because I've always loved the idea, as dark as that may seem, at least from a fictional standpoint, of a post-apocalyptic. And it's not just that, the world's destroyed and now I have to deal with fewer people. Yes, that is a selling point for me. However, what it really boils down to is a tragedy of such great magnitude that people are thrust outside of their comfort zones and have to relearn how to survive. That it's actually the perseverance of human spirit in situations like that. That's the part that really appeals to me.
That makes sense, actually. Okay, I'll let that one pass.
Okay, stamp of approval. Thanks. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, it's in the Fallout series has done it well. You know, from the beginning on. Fallout was also, I mentioned this last episode, it's when I first started putting mods into my games. I had a friend of mine. Her name is Dami. She's one of my online friends. great person. And she's like, you really ought to try modding. I'm like, what is that? And then she told me. And then that's all I do.
That's the wormhole right there.
I commit to a vanilla playthrough. I commit to one vanilla playthrough. Once that's done, then the mods come out in force.
Well, yeah, modding's great. I play a game called Vintage Story, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And I started modding the crap out of that one. It's just the QOL mods in particular are worth it. The quality of life.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I loved about, especially like Fallout 4 when I first started getting into it. Right about the time there was a documentary released on National Geographic. Don't quote me. I'm pretty sure that the name of the documentary was called The Wolves of Chernobyl. And what it does is follow the wildlife, specifically the wolves, because they're kind of keystone to nature over there as far as they're a good barometer for how, if you know how well the wolves are doing, you know how well the deer population is doing. And if you know how well the deer population is doing, you know how well the plants are doing. And I just realized I was watching that, and, obviously Chernobyl's not like a barren wasteland. It's a thriving forest. So one of the first mods I downloaded for Fallout was, I can't remember the name of it now, but it was to add greenery.
Oh, yeah.
To the wasteland. So, I mean, there's trees and bushes and, things like that. And then it was just all downhill from there. I eventually modded it until it broke and I couldn't play the game anymore. I just kept adding them.
Skyrim quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
Skyrim the last few years. Skyrim, because I went back into that too, and my kids were making fun of me. Now, mind you, two of my kids, actually, I improved their reading skills by using Skyrim. I'm like, you can play, but you got to read.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, and it worked. And my kids are all good readers. Thank you, Mr. Howard. But I went to, I think it was 3-4 years back. I'm like, I feel like playing Skyrim. I got a buddy of mine. He plays nothing but Skyrim. It's the only game he's ever played. I'm pretty sure in the last 15 years, that's all he's ever played is Skyrim. And they were making fun of me like, oh, this game's so old. It looks like crap, this, that, and the other. I'm like, just give me a couple days. 3 days later, they come and look at the game and they're like, what? Like, mods. They're glorious.
One of the first things at Skyrim, when they released their creations, one of the first thing that everyone did was increase the graphic output. The ambient inclusion mod and things like that highly, highly emphasized the look of the game. And of course, the Pew Pew mod. The Pew Pew mod in Skyrim, if you've never put it on there, you've got to do it at once at least. It's the funniest damn thing you'll ever see in your life. I died.
I don't know. I saw a mod a couple weeks ago that was all the dragons Skyrim were replaced by the state of Ohio.
God, and it was so many dragon replacers
I have ever seen. It was better than the Thomas the Tank Engine one.
There's one mod that was the best magic mod in the game, and I can't remember the name of it. I was just trying to look it up. But they have quite a few new ones now, but the one I used is not being listed here. But one of my challenges from listeners from my old show was to play a character with nothing but magic. I couldn't use any swords. I couldn't use any bows. It had to be magic only. And that's one thing I never did in that game. So that was a huge challenge for me. So I cheated a little bit and got a mod that added a whole bunch of new goodies, new spells to the game.
Nice. Nice.
It wasn't too much of a cheat. It just added more of the good stuff. But
I did mostly environmental, some foundation stuff, sound and user interface, stuff like that. And I really love the companion mods, especially because there's a lot of companions. I don't know how it was done, how these guys got together, but if you had 2 or 3 of these companion mods, they would talk to each other. Oh, as you guys are walking around, you could hear them,
there's a mod that still exists in Creations there where you can play as me as you can play with me as one of your characters, as one of your companions.
Really?
Yep. Now, listener,
okay, we gotta find that one
from my old show.
Gotta go up in the Discord.
Skyrim.
No kidding.
Off the record, yeah. He wanted to do a mod, so he put all 3 hosts in the game, and he put a new boss called the Painted Cow. There was a story in Skyrim where I was playing a 2-hander as my first Skyrim character. Maxed out the game, beat every inch of the game with that character, and I can one-shot anything. Elder dragons, anything. It was just a beast.
Okay.
But one time I was going through a field, and there was this guy leading a cow that was hand painted all over it, the painted cow. And for some reason, I thought, I'm going to wipe out that cow. I went and swung at the cow, And next thing I know, my character is dead, falling from like 100 feet in the air. I don't know if it was a bug or what it was, but it killed me instantly. The cow was still there just fine. So he put a boss in the game, the painted cow. So it's this giant cow you go find.
It's so perfect.
And one of the inns, I forgot which inn it is, but you go in there and you can see me, Ivarwin, and Dave as your different choices. And he used my character that was my favorite character I played as was my archer, my stealth archer.
Awesome. Of course.
So you could have me as a companion throughout the entire game.
There you go.
That was a blast. Anyway, yeah, we had some listeners did reply to your question. And the general consensus in throughout Discord, because we have a lot of Starfield fans, was Starfield.
Yeah. Yep. And Nixter, he posted a video. You can see it's in our Discord. And the video is basically why Starfield misunderstood. And the idea being that Starfield is misunderstood because people are misunderstanding what the purpose of the game is. And I thought it was really interesting. It was something that was echoed by Mossy and Anna as well. That yes, Metal. It's this huge and Metal. Yep, and it was this huge open world with all these different environments, and it's your job to determine as the player how you interact with that world. How
way I look at it, it's
you
like
live within it.
It's a staged RP sandbox.
You're right. So and that's something that actually Metal would say is a major contributing factor to Ship and Pilot, something that he wanted to create. He's got all these different fictional aerospace companies and different ships that, the people in his Reddit are making. They're literally building this mythology, this lore off of what the game offers.
Yeah. And Anna even said Starfield is the best Bethesda universe. Pokori, I can never Pokori. They were saying that they're goal oriented and they don't make characters. Just grab a guy and go, which is the way I do it. But
right.
They even said as well that Starfield was their favorite Bethesda universe. Yeah. And of course Mossy.
Well, of course Mossy.
But he did say that the alien world of Morrowind, which is actually just a part of the continent for Elder Scrolls, but it is very alien looking, is his next closest thing. And I agree. Morrowind's really, really cool, and it looks really awesome in ESO, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the idea that you could just go to whatever planet you want, set up an outpost.
Yep.
You could technically build a town.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people were complaining that, even I said it in the shows before, is that I really wish they had a goal purposes for outposts, but honestly, they are a great RP tool.
Right, exactly.
So even though there is nothing in there, I mean, hopefully one day they do put a real purpose for your outpost. But in the meantime, though, yeah, I've built several different bases before outposts. And I did the whole chaining them all together to see how it all works and everything.
Well, if you think about it, even in Fallout and in Elder Scrolls, it's always very objective-driven play. You're not going very far before you run into another objective. So the game is telling you what to do. It's telling you that this is what's going on. This ability to kind of create your own head canon for the game, to really RP, using your own imagination. It is limited because, you have like a set list of objectives just like the other games, but there's a lot of space out there that you can do whatever you want with.
There's planets out there, man. Thousands of planets, or 1,000.
Literally, yeah.
I mean, there's the vast majority of them, well, not the vast majority, but the majority of them you can't go on because they're not habitable. But the ones you can, and there's some beautiful worlds in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah.
Oh, I don't want to jump in. I just want to see if Rick Hammer has anything he wants to jump on and add.
Yeah, guys, if you want to say anything, now is your opportunity.
I know Rick from Facebook. What's up, Rick? How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Do you have anything to add? What's your favorite Bethesda universe out of the three main titles?
Well, I have over 3,000 hours in Starfield. That's the most that I've ever played in any Bethesda games.
Okay, fair
but
enough.
I would have to say Skyrim is probably my favorite because I'm into that whole fantasy medieval type of thing. But yeah, Starfield has all my attention right now.
Yeah, I'm an Elder Scrolls guy myself, all about the fantasy. Like, I write fantasy novels. I live in that universe. So.
Yep. Emperor of Continua. It's on Amazon. Check it out.
I'll see if I can remember that.
Good thing it's recorded.
I don't know if you guys can hear me now, but I've actually been reading it.
Oh, you've
have
been
you?
reading Widget's book?
Yeah. He sent me the. Sorry, it took me about. I'm on a new computer, so it took me about 10 minutes to figure out how to use the damn microphone. Um, so sorry. Yeah, he sent me the link the other night, and I actually started reading it, and then I fell asleep. But it's really good. I'm impressed. I'll continue. I'll give you some kudos. I was
Thank you.
impressed.
Yeah, send it over to me.
I'll post the
check it
link
out.
in our Discord for both.
Sounds good. I'm gonna get back to work, guys. So I'll just be in the background.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good night,
We're
Rick.
getting ready to wrap up the show anyway. Metal was just speaking a little bit ago. He's the one that's the editor of Ship and Pilot. Is there anything you want to talk about what you do, or?
You know what? The only thing, and thank you, I appreciate all the kind words. The only thing that I want to go back to, I was like, you were talking and I was trying to jump in. I couldn't figure out my microphone. But you were talking about, Kilo was talking about just the opportunity for Starfield to be like this big open sandbox and this big, space. And we kind of got into this conversation about how it really, for the creatives out there, it really gives you the opportunity to create a whole fiction outside of the game. So you can take these ships and you can share them with people and all that good stuff, but not just the ships, the outposts, every part of it. And then you chimed in and you said you were a little bit more task oriented, goal oriented, which surprises me because you write.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, for me, I'm also working on a graphic novel, but I'm using Starfield as a way to live out the narrative or to help me write the narrative, if that makes sense. So, I create the character, create the ship, and then actually take photos of the locations and kind of frame up the graphic novel as I'm doing it, and then come back out and redraw it and all that good stuff. But it helps me almost storyboard everything. So I'm surprised to hear someone who's a creative say that they're very goal oriented when it comes to the video game, because that's foreign to me. So it was interesting.
Yeah, he's also an IT though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, all right.
What it boils down to is I spend a lot of my time, my creative outlet is my books, and I spend a lot of time working on them. Like I'm currently working on a third book right now, so I think I pretty much get all of that out of me through that medium. And then when I'm playing a video game, I just play in that world, just to live in that world.
Yeah, I get that. That's why I think the other, the one thing that we said about Starfield was it was the ultimate sandbox. The other thing, it's the ultimate dad game. Cozy game, right?
It is.
And I think that's it for me is that my life is pretty stressful, and the best thing about Starfield is that you can get in and it's not stressful. Like there's no my youngest son is a huge Elden Ring fan, and he tried to get me to play it, and I hate that game. It's a beautiful game, but it's so freaking hard.
Yeah, that's stress wrapped up in a pretty bow.
It is. And I don't like it. I can't handle it. Like Starfield's not stressful at all to me. It's very, we call it, Ulf is on the he's one of the mods over in SMP, and we call it Space Lego because it's just so therapeutic to get on and spend an hour building ships.
Yeah.
Your ship, your outposts, yeah. All right.
Go ahead, Rick.
Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show here.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything else you want to say, Kilo, before we go?
No, I just want to say thank you to Metal and Rick for hanging out with us and joining us for the recording. It was good having you guys.
All right, took so long.
Thank you.
It's all good.
Awesome. And we want to thank, again, Metal one more time. He is responsible for our new logos, the show art, as well as our network logo. So all the credit goes to him, the editor of Ship and Pilot.
Indeed.
Bethesda Unpatched is a Weird Chaos Media production.
Your hosts are Joe the Widget Wilson and Michael Kilo Litwin.
Produced, directed, and edited by me, Joe the Widget Wilson. Opening theme and outro by Joe the Widget Wilson.
Social media manager, Michael Kilo Litwin. Find all of our contact and social media links on our link tree at linktree, linktr.ee/Weird Chaos Media. WYRDKHAOS Media.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and have an amazing time out in the Bethesdaverse.
Peace out.